A lot of broken units have been coming up in Opera Omnia recently, and a lot more broken units will be coming to Opera Omnia in a little bit. I wanted to make an interesting video today and rank the top 5 units in Dissidia Opera Omnia Global as of February 2022. Number 5 is Ace. He's one of the first BT Plus units to ever come out in Dissidia Opera Omnia, and in my opinion, he's still one of the best BT Plus units. His longevity is crazy. Even though he's not C90, he is still one of the best off-turn damage dealers in the game. His trap skills are plenty. He has turn warping with his skills, and his BT effect lasts a long while. He's not a turn hogger, so you aren't going to be burning through BT turns like you normally would with Cloud of Darkness, Tidus, Ject. Even if you don't use his phase when you use him in fights, his BT effect would still last pretty much the entire time. And again, about his off-turn damage, every single attack around 150,000 damage if you have the right support units and the right debuffs. That type of damage adds up very quickly. He's so versatile in so many different fights. There's not a whole lot of fights where he wouldn't work. I guess the only type of fights that he wouldn't be good in would be bosses that are immune to pretty much all debuffs. Other than that, I think he's great for every single fight. Number 4 is Furion. I personally don't have Furion. I don't plan on getting his BT. I don't plan on greening him. However, he looks really freaking cool. And as someone who used Y'shtola for the longest time back when she came out, I gotta say, from what I'm looking at and from the buffs and stats that I've been reading from his Dissidia compendium, he's definitely better than Y'shtola. On top of that, he has consistent healing built into his kit, reliable battery. Not only do most of his skills give Brave, but also the traps that he sets. His BT plus effect on top of that does so much for your Brave gains. You're going to be gaining a lot of Brave, and you're going to be doing a lot of max HP dumps. He has one of my favorite voice actors of all time, and he, in my opinion, has the best BT theme in the entire game. It's just a shame that I'm not planning on greening him at all because of a certain someone who's further up in this list. But for people who do green him, I'm jealous. Number 3 is Machina. When it comes to dealing damage, no one really does damage like Machina. The only 2 people who can maybe rival Machina's damage right now consistently would be Sid Reigns and Twins. The reason why Machina is on this list and not Sid Reigns or Twins is because Sid Reigns and Twins have a much more specific setup that you have to use with them, whereas Machina is a lot more versatile. His damage is freaking crazy. On top of that, it's extremely consistent. If you have his BT phase up, if you basically just spam his HP attack, he's going to be doing millions and millions of damage casually. He has a follow-up attack, which also acts as a counter attack if he didn't have enough damage already. Literally the only thing that's holding him back is the fact that his BT attack delays himself every single time you use it, which can be completely bypassed if you have turn manipulators in your team, such as Aphmau or Noctis. I use Noctis a lot with Machina, and them two being together pretty much negates Machina's biggest weakness. In my opinion, easily one of the best DPS units in the game, if not the best. He's just a goddamn beast, what can I say? Number 2 is Locke. Locke, compared to Machina, doesn't do as much damage, but he's still able to reach the millions if he needs to. The difference between him and Machina is that he has so much more utility to him. The party can't be broken, and if your party isn't getting hit with instant kill moves, he's going to be able to heal every single member up to 50% every single time they get hit. Arguably, his strongest utility would be the fact that his BT effect makes the party do defense-ignoring Brave damage. That is freaking crazy, where a whole shtick about Lufedia Plus fights is that they reduce Brave tremendously. The fact that you can just relatively ignore that altogether is freaking crazy. Bypassing that defense was a big reason why Setzer was so good, and his rainbow damage. If you have the right support units and you have the right debuffs applied on the enemy, you're basically going to be doing rainbow damage the entire way through with Locke. So no, he doesn't do as much damage as Machina, but he doesn't delay himself. He has healing capabilities. He has defensive capabilities. He has a crap ton of more utility than Machina. They're both fantastic in my opinion, and I greened both of them. But in this type of list, Locke edges out Machina just a little bit. And in a normal Dissidia Opera Omnia scenario, Locke would have been number 1 in this list if there wasn't for a specific unit coming into Global that kind of just broke the game. Number 1 is Garnet. Were you expecting anything else? Were you expecting any other unit to be at the number 1 spot? She is the best support unit by far. One of the best Imperil enchants in the game. She has so many auras, so much stuff built into her kit and built into her BT effect. Her BT effect raises Brave damage, raises Brave gains up, raises HP damage, raises HP caps. On top of that, every 4 turns, Garnet does an exorbitant amount of damage with a follow-up attack that gives the party an extraordinarily amount of Brave. If you're playing Garnet correctly, your team should should not be running out of Brave in any second of the fight. You can't really call Garnet a support unit at this point. With how much damage she does, with how much damage her follow-up attack does, she's more so a sub-attacker rather than a full-on support unit. Garnet is one of the hardest hitting units in the entire game, and she's not even classified as a specific DPS unit. She is the closest unit in this entire game that I would legitimately consider to be broken. Any unit in this game that has an LD, they can be viable. Garnet has single-handedly changed the entirety of the game. She opens up a wealthy amount of variety of teams that people can now use because of her. Team compositions that normally wouldn't work with other support units, but now they can because of Garnet. Listen guys, if you don't have Garnet greened, I feel bad for you. I legitimately feel bad for you. Normally, you can get by with skipping a lot of the meta. However, with Garnet, if you don't have Garnet BT+, that's a damn shame. I am so sorry for you. By far, best unit in the game, Garnet. So that's it, guys. That's it for the video. Did you agree with my list? Did you disagree? Make sure to comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching again. I will see y'all next time.